Oh, hi! Weekend. Now, last week, what we did was a K-pop threefer, wherein we talked about an achievement. We talked about a new song I've been so into, and some gifts that keep giving. But now, what we're gonna be having is actually a toy twofer. Now, the reason why we're gonna be having this is because, first off, I'll be pretty busy for the next 2 weeks, so I might have some problems with regards to posting, because towards the holiday season, we do have different events at my workplace at the same time also for family. Now, another thing also is actually the reason why we're going to be doing a twofer, because it's actually the toys are actually pretty related, and if I have to move it on to another timeline, I guess it won't be much value. And if you watch my videos with regards to figures, I always talk about value, and I hope that me putting these two videos together, or putting two videos for the same character, I hope that it gives value for you guys. Now, the figure that I'll be talking about is actually not part of any of the Kamen Rider timelines. It is it is more of I would say spin-off, or reimaging, and it's actually a web series. And that series is what we call Kamen Rider Amazons. Now, if you remember, in my few videos ago, we talked about the SS Kamen Rider Amazon. Now, that was in the 70s, and it now has a 2016 reimaging, which is called Kamen Rider Amazons. Now, I don't have all three characters. I only have one character, because the reason I got him is because he's the more unique one. Since I already have the Kamen Rider Amazon, the original Kamen Rider Amazon, I did not get the new version of Kamen Rider Amazons, who's now called Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha. What I got instead was Kamen Rider Amazon Omega. The reason I got him, because he's totally different from Kamen Rider Alpha, because Kamen Rider Alpha is basically a modern reimaging of what Kamen Rider Amazon looks like. I honestly like Kamen Rider Amazon, the old version, more than the new one, because uh, it does give a more organic feel to Kamen Rider Amazon. So I did not buy it. At the same time, he had two versions. The first version, the normal version, and the blind version, which is actually so hard to find, which affects my OCD. So I got Kamen Rider Amazon Omega, and as an additional, I also have his bike, the Junglaider, which is actually very weird, because the Junglaider was originally Kamen Rider Amazon's bike, but since the Kamen Rider Amazon has now been split to Alpha, Omega, and Neo, this was now given to Kamen Rider Omega. And this is also the reason why I got the figure, because it has a partner bike. Now, if you're gonna see, the box art is still of the older style. Now, I'll be talking about the newer style unfortunately in 2 weeks, when you talk about Kamen Rider 01, because that is the first time that they're going to be having the new style design. And so you can see, this is what Kamen Rider Amazon Omega looks like. Personally, he's my favorite from the whole series. It's actually a darker, more mature version of Kamen reimaging, or retelling of the Kamen Rider Amazon story. Though honestly, it's still a bit goofy for me, especially the henshin, when they just blow up and they transform. The thing with Kamen Rider Amazon and Amazons is, it adds bio like more biological, in the sense that they have cells inside. It feels more organic, but it's still metallic in a way. So this is what Kamen Rider Amazon Omega looks like. As you can see, he had the, you know what, the product shots are great. You know, and then in the plastic it even says, open your Amazons. Well, I open my figures, but open your Amazons. You know, if you're going to tell me, Jax, what is the best value figure that you would say? Now, I would be first thing I'd be asking, are you talking about the whole line, or if you're just gonna buy a specific figure for value? Now, how do I rate value, right? If you remember from my other videos, I rate value with regards to the main figure, and the base figure would be the base figure and the posable hands. That's the basic figure. I would say added value would be a weapon or an effect, right? A weapon or an effect or anything to add to the drivers or to the belt. What this gives you is extremely great value, and I'll show you. So we open them up. I would say also box art. Now, if you can see, if you open the box, it actually extends out. So the design extends out, which is amazing. All right. So now let me talk to you about value. So let's start. Figure and figure, posable hands. So aside from the main hands, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs, which is more than the usual. If you remember Zio, he only had 3 pairs of extra hands. This is 4 extra hands. Next part of I would say value, weapons. We have 1 weapon, a dagger. 2 weapons, second weapon, a spear. That's already 2 weapons. Third, additional extra on the armor. You get extended fins on the figure. Extended fins. So we already have more hands, 2 weapons, armor, extra for the suit, which is extended fins, and lastly, effects. Now that's value. That's value. You have 4 extra things than the normal figure. And you can't beat that value. You can't definitely, it's nothing else. I would say that you can't beat them. And that's all in one purchase, one figure. Now, we remove the figure and look at that. Amazing. First off, it is pretty shiny, so I do my best to get it out of sunlight because honestly, it actually eats up on the paint job. As you can see, it's pretty shiny. It's pretty shiny, glossy paint. So actually pretty scary for me. Articulation's always good with SH Figuarts. He also has fins in the back. His helm also has this antenna. So guys, be careful. And you can see the antenna is two-toned. Right? It has a transparent part on top of the gold painted one. Right. Another thing also is that his original driver is this one with 2, I would say 2 sticks. Now, what adds also extra value for this is you can actually remove it. There you go. See, you can actually remove these because if you remove this, what happens is actually the parts of the driver become parts of the weapon. So if you pull this out, it becomes a dagger. Right? It becomes a dagger. Now, another part of it is, oh, by the way, it also has fins in the back, so very Batman-y feel. So it becomes a dagger. Then it has so much stuff that they had to separate the posable hands, to another part of plastic. And for the second weapon, the part of the driver, which you pulls out to become a knife, becomes a spear. See, that's 2 weapons already. That's already two two weapons you can use for posability, plus the extra hands, which is great. You know, you have the extra hands here as well. And if you remember, ZO only had 3 extra pairs, so that's actually an extra fig. That's already value there. And then, so you can see the fins here. You can actually remove those fins and replace them with extended fins. So you can see the difference is that it's longer. So you can actually pose him better. Right? If they're posing him, it's gonna be attacking. Because they're technically supposed to be a bit feral, because I mean robots I guess can be feral. So you have that. And then lastly, effects. So it's just like you can change the fin and put the longer fins and put the effects. So it's just like he's slashing something with his fins. Okay. How cool is that? In one figure you get everything that's of extra value. Right? You get extra weapons, you get 2 weapons, you get a lot of hands, you get an armor enhancement or a suit enhancement, and you get effects. Now that's perfect value. I would say this is, if there's one thing maybe you're going to be looking for, what's the best bang for my buck? Well, I would say this. And the looks aren't bad. If you like, especially if you like color green, but the looks aren't bad as well. Now we're going to move on to the Junglaider. Now the original Junglaider is actually very similar to the original Junglaider with the fins. So this is what the Junglaider looks like. It's a little bit more of an updated version of the first Junglaider. And here's some some shots, some of the product shots. And then now we're going to be looking at the figure, it's the bike itself. You know, it's pretty I find it pretty new that we get to talk about the bike again, because for the past few videos that we had, my figures didn't have bikes. I was trying to get one for ZO, but unfortunately, my other pre-orders for other figures didn't come out. But I'll try my best. I'm gonna be saving up for ZO's bike. It's actually pretty cool though. No, actually, they should be all in bikes. All right, now look at this. Look at this. What do we have? First off, we have the bike, which is amazing. This is actually pretty heavy. I think it's not metal, but it's pretty heavy. We have the updated. Actually, I don't really need to buy the Alpha anymore, because this is what Alpha looks like. If you're wondering what does the new Amazon looks like, well, this is what Alpha looks like. That's exactly what he looks like. So you got the kickstand here. You got the kick side stand. Shocks. It's very glossy, very nice. I really like it. Very glossy, and it does have the other extras here. Actually, I'm not sure if it's metal. Actually, I think it's hard, but it's actually pretty heavy too. And let me tell you about value. First off, we get the stand so that you can pose it while riding. So it stands here. Now here comes value. This one, you can attach it under the motorcycle, so that you can put an action stand that you can pose it like it's flying or jumping. I'm sorry. So we have that. So that's value number 1. Now, not all bikes have it. Not all bikes have this. So you just have to you have to be careful that don't lose this, because this is actually very valuable. Next, for added value, you get an extra weapon. Get an extra weapon, and you get the whip. It's actually elastic. It's posable. So you get the whip, a scythe, and the very valuable tool, because not all bikes have this. Right? So what more can you get? This is extremely very good value for a figure that I would say for a figure that for a series that is actually, I would say, for a series that is very not new. It's actually pretty popular, and it's not just pretty popular. It's actually pretty popular, and it's actually, see, I forgot how to put it in, but nevertheless I'll find it. For a series that is actually a web series, they gave a lot of value for this figure, and it's great. I mean, you can't find it anywhere anymore. It's hard to find this, actually. I would say it's pretty valuable. And aside from the it being hard to find, it's, you get everything. You get an extra figure, you get a bike, a really nice looking bike, and you get added weapons. So I would say, if you can find this, even if you're not a fan of Amazons, for the figure and value alone, you're getting a big chunk back for your money. And the next figure we're actually going to be talking about is another figure. It's a similar figure. We'll take it out in another video, because for the next person we're going to be talking about is the same guy, just on an armored version. We're going to be talking about New Omega for our next video, so stay tuned for our twofer.